Grand evening or grand rest, wherever you are, whenever you tune in. I'm going to say a quick blessing over this message before we go into the cards. Dear source of all that is, was, and will ever be, I thank you today and each and every day for all that you do and all that you do as me. We call upon you at this time in your divine authority, commanding in alignment with your perfect will. By the power of divine law, we now open our lives to abundant security, stability, and protection. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. Every curse, every evil eye, every case, cause, concern, conflict, and negative confrontation will continue to dissolve into nothingness by the radiance of your light. We command true prosperity to flow into our lives. Prosperity that nourishes our souls, sustains our body, and blesses all who walk with us. We command good fortune to follow us in all things, and we call forth true love, divinely ordained, harmonious, and eternal. Our hearts and souls are aligned to receive and give love in its purest, most sacred form. May our paths be illuminated, our spirits fortified, and our lives a testament to the boundless grace of the Creator. So it is, so it is, so it is, and so it shall be. All right. Let's go into Oracle of Visions to get started on this next 72 hours for the collective. Next 72 hours for the collective. Primary energy coming from the Oracle of Visions. Here we go. Source Holy Spirit, messenger of Source. Give us some primary energy for the collective, representing the next 72 hours. The next 72 hours. This would be from now until our next 7-day outlook on Monday. Let's see what came out with that full pass. Okay. Interesting how 2 out of 3 of these cards have keys. Something extremely significant about the spiritual relevance of these keys for an entirely different message. Let's see. New opportunities, personal growth, and self-discovery. Different keys can convey different messages, also dependent upon the timing and circumstances in your life. This, from what I'm seeing here, is with each of us having our own keys, as well as keys to help and guide and support others in unlocking their own potential. We also have our own key of self-discovery and the power to shape the course of our journey. New doors are opening for us. New doors. Also signifying the doors that we continue to move through. A level up, recognition, some kind of correspondence about that throat chakra opening up more because of the blue representing the throat chakra. It is opening up more. The collective is becoming more and more at peace with opening up and using their voice. And in doing so, that energy is being transmuted into expansive developments. Some of the collective may even be receiving some kind of correspondence pertaining to this in some kind of way. We have the power to shape the course of our journeys, beloveds. This is also signifying the ability to move past our limitations, choosing to move past our limitations. For some of the collective, this is a Dear John that hasn't been written yet. But it has nothing to do with you or the other person, and it has everything to do with development and how the soul is evolving, outgrowing where we are in the present moment. The key is an honor. It's an honor. There's also indication of a new storyline developing for the collective. One that is more aligned with our soul purpose, not from where we are, but for what we are unbecoming. And by going through this season of unbecoming, we also invite infinite and unknown possibilities of understanding ourselves even more. Possibilities, but also calling back our energy and maintaining that authority to either unlock and open and let more in, or discern what to keep out. Every situation we see has more ways that it can grow forward. Hello, Carl. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, dear friend, and thank you so much for being here, as well as anyone else who isn't participating in chat. Equal love and welcome to you as well. And thank you so much for being here. Being open to expanding and growing your life. If you were looking for any kind of confirmation at this time about something that you were unsure about, this key and this key are saying that you are ready to unlock even more. You already have all the answers. Now we are in a season of expansion through remembering. Remembering that the keys are tools for us to use. To a degree, we are the key. We are the key. And in that same way, it is our power and our choice to shape our destiny. As we continue to unlock more, the external is starting to mirror the internal. Our inner world and our external world are matching energy more and more. Keep working that light, because it is that light that's unlocking new doors. But now I'm hearing to keep working that shadow as well. You can't have one without the other. The key also holds the essence of protection. Protecting our energy and who has access to it by practicing boundaries. That card is still at the bottom. We're going to shuffle one more time. Still there. Oops. So, this is telling me that number 44 is significant, and interestingly enough, one of the spiritual meanings behind the number 4 has to do with protection. But it is also associated with true prosperity. Prosperity worth protecting. Number 44. Stability. Strong connections with the divine. Perseverance, determination. Building stronger foundations. But also a sign of support all around us on our spiritual journey. Choosing to be in the flow. No one here is running. No one here is chasing. Everything is just in the flow. Trusting in our intuitions. And with this card in the immediate orbit as well, number 13, another symbol of transformation, plus 3 plus 1 is 4. How interesting is that? We have another 4 here. This card is all about not only bringing out the best in ourselves, but also bringing out the best in others and weaving that into the tapestry of humanity. Hello, Bro Star Yogi Eric. Thank you so much for being here. Happy Friday to you. Yes. Oh, and right behind that, we have another master number as I just looked down at my deck. This is in the immediate orbit. That's 2 master numbers within 3 cards back to back. So we're going to be ringing the bell. Particularly powerful, radiating the energy of stability, hard work, and divine support, especially in our creative endeavors. When we channel that energy into taking conscious action towards our authentic creative expression. Authentic creative expression that supports and continues to promote harmony in more ways than one. Oops. All right. So before we continue on, we are going to ring in these blessings that are already coming out and already in our orbit for the next 72 hours. This may be a good time to reduce the volume on your listening devices if you happen to have a sound sensitivity. 1, 2, 3. Ringing in those beautiful new threads that are really not new at all. They're being rediscovered and remembered and rethreaded into the tapestry of humanity, as well as this harmony in more ways than one. So it is, so it is, so it is, and so it shall be. I see discipline, self-discipline, that is adding bricks and mortar to that foundation. Collective has been getting things done with more and more determination and focus. Trusting the effort to remain grounded will pay off. In terms of love, there is stability and harmony, or it's coming in for you. That connection and frequency is already in the orbit. Even if you have not united or reunited with your specific person, what we're focusing on more than anything else is that trust, communication, and mutual efforts, even if it's long distance. Working through challenges together. Working in harmony. Preparing for a meaningful relationship sometimes that might mean focusing on self-love, but also with that throat chakra, voicing your needs. Voicing your needs. Hello, Zagros, and thank you so much for being here. I am doing well as can be expected. Thank you so much for being here. Happy Friday, and a blessed weekend to you and your loved ones. In terms of vocation, there's even more of that discipline showing up. Just stay focused on your goals, beloveds. Oh, wow. That sounds absolutely beautiful. Zagros says, it's 6:36 p.m. Tomorrow, starting at 2 p.m. our time, I'm going to plant an oak tree. I'm going to plant an oak tree live in the forest. I want to plant an oak tree in the name of my friends and with their intentions. Please tell your friends too. Well, I did, to a degree, just pay that forward. Anyone who has a chance to listen and hear this video, either during the live or in the replay, will have a chance to see and share and hear as well. So there it is, guys. Be sure to go check out Zagros tomorrow at 2 p.m. at whatever time zone that they are in. And show your support. Giving back to the earth. I absolutely love that. And offering a chance at life to an oak tree. Full support, my friend. Full support. Literally laying the groundwork. Literally laying the groundwork. What a way to hustle, my friend. What a way to hustle. Just know that kindness in any and all forms always returns. So, by you planting that tree and helping it take a chance on life, that energy will spin the block and make its way back to you. It may not be right now and right this second, but just trust that what you put out and what you put in amplifies. That compassion, that grace, that love, that kindness always returns. Hello, beautiful sister Sonia, my bestie. Hello. Thank you so much for being here. Blessed weekend to you, beautiful. I love you. Yes, I do. Yes. Stay grounded, trust the process, remain connected spiritually, and always take practical action of some kind in some kind of way towards your dreams. Have an honest conversation with your loved ones, and connections, as we're being called for more discipline and structure at this time in our lives. Yes, I know. You're always in the bush, always being supportive. Thank you so very much, beautiful. Truly. I love your big heart. But more than anything else, I love you for being you. All right. Let's see what else is coming in for the collective now and for the next 72 hours. Next 72 for the collective. Source, Holy Spirit, Messenger of Source. Here we go. Next 72 for the collective. Next 72 for the collective. All right, that's a full pass. Let's take a look at what was poking out here. We're going to look at what is face up first. Okay. By letting go, by choosing peace and tranquility, choosing peace of mind over the chaos, she's letting go of the old story, dropping the mask and letting go of the old story, allowing the winds of change to carry away the old, but also to ring in the new with those wind chimes. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for that interpretation. We also have more doors of possibilities opening for us. As we learn more and more about ourselves, more of our true, authentic self is coming together piece by piece. Making sense of our place as we continue to make new connections and relationships with others. In this message, this is more about each balloon representing a connection with another that can also carry in towards us new perspectives, fresh perspectives, all different parts and the sum of the whole. I don't know why I just heard blue light special with this card, but some of you could be out there right now for Black Friday chasing those blue light specials, but instead you decided to stay in, realizing that those higher perspectives cannot be found in the midways of the markets. You're avoiding the chaos even more so because you've already gained a broader perspective from all those times in the past where someone was either catching a knee or an elbow. For a sale. Over a sale. Instead, with this card, the collective is choosing a different perspective. Physical distance. That serve as a greater comprehensive view. This is not our first rodeo. This is not our first lap around the fishbowl. We know to stay out of the stores and off the streets during this time to avoid the collective chaos I just heard. Avoiding the collective chaos. That broader perspective reinforces this voluntary isolation. A more clear vision that we can gain and integrate and trust from right where we are. Knowing that we are not to be too closely involved and just step back. As that distance, notice the distance she is away from everything else. That space between not only gives nostalgia with the remembering of the chaos, but perspective and even maybe, just maybe, objectivity. Distance from the influence of others. This is also about a scene of personal contemplation. Beautiful. The overall perspective. That provides a more clear answer than a close-up world. All right, next 72 hours with this card here. All this time to reflect, see the mirror in the background, all this time to reflect on the last 24 hours and what's really been going on. And some of it spins back around just like these images on this post, while others will go. New perspectives through these observations. This card is all about not just the coming and going in the last 24 hours, but throughout an entire lifetime. How the closeness oscillates. Creating infinite combinations. Representing the present as well as the parted. And who is parting. Family, partners, friends, and so on. Some will stay. And some again, they're in our lives long enough to show us different perspectives, different roles that we play. They do not define us, but every role, every mask, in every way, shape, and form is a teacher. People, places, things, and situations, and even the roles we play are not who we are, but they can offer a teachable moment to reflect on yet again. I'm getting positive risk taking in some kind of way with this card here. Knowing when to take a positive risk and trust in that wild card, but also this card has more to do with knowing when to just let go. Sometimes we just have to let another fall. With that number 18, we can prepare, we can inform others, advise them, but eventually there will come a moment when we have to resist that impulse to reach out. There's a time for this and there's a time for that. There's a time for that risk taking and there's a time for just, instead of reaching out, let them fall so they can rise again on their own accord. Knowing when to protect, knowing when to provide, and knowing when to resist those impulses. Let's see what's already in the immediate orbit. Oh, okay. The collective is already beginning to see, not only through the collective's own egos, but the ego in general. The collective ego. I just heard. But there is that transformative energy. It's giving ego death with the skull here. Dark night of the soul. Through our observations, when we see through the ego and see beyond the surface, we recognize the sustenance, every page being some kind of sustenance. Including the stories that we type up and tell ourselves. It's almost like he's talking to an old version of himself. Saying, I see through you. And now you no longer exist. You're not real. Nothing is real. Except for this leap of faith that we're already taking towards our higher selves. It's already in the orbit, already here, already done. Having the courage to reach out is also already in the orbit. Hello, Lady Sky. Girl, you just snuck right in here, didn't you? Welcome, and thank you so much for being here. Beautiful sister, thank you. It's always lovely to see all of you. Sincerely, thank you so much for being here. There's that higher self I was just talking about. Taking a leap of faith towards our higher selves. This horse is representative of this horse breaking free and shooting towards our higher selves. Breaking free from that carousel of insanity. No more looping. No more looping. No more being somebody's rag doll. No more being somebody's puppet. We're breaking free and taking a leap in more ways than one. Taking that first step towards our destiny. Our ships are coming in for us. And what that means for us now. What that means for us now is 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did do. This ship is coming in, not necessarily with any special deliveries this time. This one is more about sailing away from that safe harbor, stepping outside of our comfort zone, and catching the wind in our sails. Those birds also represent air signs. But I also see that blue and indigo representing the throat chakra and the third eye. Assessing the scenarios. Stepping further into our calling. But this time, by breaking free from that carousel of insanity and reaching out when need be, we see through even our own egoic convincing of limitations, letting go of the old story, but taking precautions to increase our chance at success, discerning what to hold on to, what to release, which includes seeing through our own hot mess. All right. Knowing when to lead, knowing when to reach out and be led. And the aim is always towards that higher perspective, that higher ideal and higher version of ourselves. This is like our spirit guides right here, reaching out to us to let us know that we have more than enough. More than enough to break free and move forward. More than enough to break free. We have spiritual bonds. We also have physical bonds. Bonds in both the spiritual and the mundane. For some of the collective, this is a love from a past life who's going to be reaching out in the next 72 hours because they noticed that you already broke free from that carousel of insanity. Stepping away from that usual role. And yet another reminder from our spirit guides that all that we see in this earthly realm is no more than a mask. More and more those realizations are going to be coming in for the collective in the next 72 hours. In this image, the horse is also about the projection of our dreams, becoming more strong. The strength. Horses also represent strength just as much as the lion. Endurance, stamina. We are escaping that circus of chaos. With this message, though, please do not pew pew the messenger, beloveds. But in the next 72 hours, there will be some kind of evidence of jealousy or envy by those who have been left behind. As we break free from that mindless repetition more and more and more. No longer choking our inner spirit. Let's keep going. Ooh. Time is not running out. Time is on our side. Yes, it is. Time is on our side. Yes, it is. Beloveds, now you always say that you want to be free. Searching for good times, but just wait and see. Go ahead and light up the town. And baby, I'll do anything your heart desires. Remember, I'll always be around. You're gonna come back. I've told you so many times before. You're gonna come back. Knocking, yeah, knocking right on my door. Time is on my side. Yes, it is. Time is on my side. And yours too, kid. Yes, it is. 'Cause I got real love the kind that you need, and you'll come running back. I knew you would one day. You'll come running back, like I told you before. Yes, you'll come running back to me. Time, however, is also never really ours. It's something that we have use of for a given period of time. We're being guided to continue to use this allotted amount of time fully before it is taken from us. Live every day, every hour, every minute to its fullest. Otherwise, it can seem like the ultimate thief, gradually taking from us, but never giving back. And I can name a few of them. But what good would it do, and what good would it be to dox others when we can just return to cosmos with all of that and call back our energy? Call it back. Reserve that tender, loving care for meaningful friendships and for dedicating that energy to those who need the help and the healing the most. A simple and caring gesture is also coming in from a friend sometime in the next 72 hours. Something for some of the collective is coming to completion with that circle of light there representing completeness. A reminder that the main reasons why we are even here is to love. To love and to heal one another. Also in our orbit is supporting one another. Strength showing up in endless ways, unlimited ways. Inner and outer strength. Inner and outer strength. Already in our orbit. Number 9, speaking of completions, there's the 9. We are in year 9. 2025 adds up to a number 9. Completions, a year of completions. Symbolically, quite possibly for many of us, quite literally. This is a rarity in itself, but there's also in the next 72 hours for some of the collective an opportunity to take credit for your contributions in some kind of way. No more playing second fiddle. There's also an air of caution in the next 72 hours about not allowing others to take advantage of us. Let's keep going. One more full pass. Here we go. Okay, that card that was at the bottom and in our orbit just came back out again. In our immediate orbit, we have another master number, this time master number 33. Choosing peace and tranquility over the chaos of the big fish stories. Number 33. We're going to actually take a look at the master number meaning of this card in particular. Instead of the angel number meaning. This is considered to be the most advanced and spiritually evolved number, embodying both that nurturing energy that came out earlier as well as the visionary insights. Making the most of the time, energy, love, and compassion and creative expression. Uplifting humanity. Creating a deeper connection to the spiritual realm. Guiding others with their wisdom and empathy as well. This is not about playing the know-it-all and one-upping others. This is about bringing out those golden nuggets of wisdom in others. There's a line, a golden line that runs from her hand to that body of water. That connection. Fishing for golden nuggets in others. Bringing it out so that others may know their ability to inspire and heal as much as we aspire to inspire and heal those around us. Deeper connections with the spiritual realm as well as the mundane. This represents pure love. Nothing but bright, warm light coming from that line. This is all about like this sense of responsibility that we have to a degree to support and uplift humankind and bring more of that compassion back into the world. Three plus three adds up to 6, creating a single-digit vibration of nurturing, protectiveness, and being more team, group, collective, family-oriented. But also a sign that creative energy, as well as clear, concise communication, is coming more naturally for us as well. Our intuitions are online. Visionary qualities. Blended with a soft heart. The ability to understand and communicate growth. Healing. Wise beyond our years with optimism. Becoming more and more selfless. And inspiring others to do the same. Simply with that healing presence. This is also indication that the clairs are remaining dialed in more and more for longer extended periods of time. Compassion, love, and that rare gift of understanding. A blessing that did not and does not come easily. as we continue to hone in on these skills, those lessons learned are reaching their full potential now, beloveds. Realizing that the more we heal and nurture that inner child, the more that we become a source of healing for others. Practicing forgiveness. Putting those old interests aside. For the sake of shining light on something far more magnificent. Those fish, those koi fish representing good fortune and true prosperity. We also have, let's ring in that harmony and true prosperity. 1, 2, 3. Bringing in the acceptance of the responsibility to practice forgiveness. Set old interests aside. Choose healing. Choose love. Our greatest teachers. Selflessly, altruistically at heart and at a core level. Finding the greatness in our full potential without the ego. So it is, so it is, and so it shall be. In full expression, authentic, creative expression. How all of our different ways of increasing the energy, like I am now, all the different ways to be creative. That inner peace is showing. There is significance to the dragonfly on the lily. All worries, concerns, and negativity are transmuted and carried away. Only stillness and peace remain. Some kind of sense, deeper sense of peace is coming in the next 72 hours. As well as any, how would I put this, a spontaneous explosion of inspiration. Through this variety of different individual expressions. An expression of our humanity. Taking shape, giving new life with new acts of creation. Hello, beautiful sister. Hello, Miss Dolly, Miss Phoenix. Thank you so much for being here. Beautiful lady. Happy Friday to you. And I love you, love you. You. See the energy making the camera get funky? I'm not touching it, I promise you. That's the good vibes coming your way, beloveds. All good vibes in all different ways, shapes, and forms of loving, affectionate, healing, and nurturing, creative expression. Let's move along now. We're about halfway through that deck, so we're going to stop there with that one. And we're going to move along to something more with the Woodland Wardens. More of what is coming in the next 72 hours for the collective. Let's go. Source, Holy Spirit, Messenger of Source, what other energies are coming in the next 72 hours for the collective? Oh. Oh. Oh, and I just heard the conditions and circumstances of your relationships are irrelevant. We have romance. Love is in the air. Whoa. Whoa. Love is in the air. We got romance, yo. Say it ain't so. Oh, but if I did, I'd be lying. Number 36 in romance. Love is in the air. Oh, yeah. Whether you're already in a relationship or not in a relationship. Whether it's rocky and trouble in paradise or smooth sailing. Love, romance is in the air. And we're being guided to be open to and accepting of the new, new, fertile love, exuberance, enthusiasm, excitement, vibrancy that has led to a blossoming romance. The only question is, do you feel safe and supported enough to be open to this new love? We also have modest fortitude out again. Continuing to do the work quietly. More consistently. Quietly and consistently. Doing the work, whether it's shadow work or light work, beloveds. How about we strike a balance with both? Those who have already been boasting, their yoke has grown heavy. They seem to have forgotten why they even began their journey. Oh, I'm the epitome of greatness because I'm saying it out loud. Beloveds, if the reason is worthy, we can continue to keep it pushing, and our efforts will make us stronger. Reminding us of the greatest feats that are a result of a much more humble practice. Instead of being too focused on earning praise and accolades. Excuse me. How about we remain focused on the sustenance of our work and push through the adversity, even when nobody is looking, especially when no one is looking. What's in our immediate orbit? Anticipation. Anticipation is in our immediate orbit. The great news is, whatever it is that we've been anticipating is about to occur. We may have made mistakes at one point in our lives that put us possibly even in the way of danger and harm's way. But here we are. We made it through it. We're still here. And now we can better guard ourselves in the future and in the now. Being more selective. Being more selective. Boundaries. Yeah, boundaries. Already in the orbit. Along with what we've been anticipating actually coming through for us. Something, anyways. Big or small, it's going to be different for everyone. But it's coming through in the next 72. Boundaries already in place. Boundaries already in place. The amethyst is there for our protection, beloveds. The placeholder and protection I just heard when I just placed that amethyst there. Maintaining healthy boundaries, especially around our time and energy. We're protected from the trickster spirits. Being guided to turn inward. The inner work. Continuing to do the inner work while also maintaining those healthy boundaries. But also taking care not to judge others for where they are at in terms of their ascension and growth. If you're still judging others and talking crap about others, you're definitely not ascending the way you think you are. There's also an air of caution about others who may be judging us for believing that we're closed off, or being aware of judging others for them being closed off. Put some respect on it, kid. Respecting our boundaries as well as the boundaries of others and allowing them the time to heal, grow, and open up on their own terms. Respecting the boundaries of others. All right, let's keep going. All right, let's make a full pass for more of what's coming in the next 72 hours. We can see what's already in the orbit. Source, Holy Spirit, Messenger of Source, what else is coming in the next 72 hours for the collective? Let's take a look at what's face up first. We have the wolf and the rose hip. With the rose hip, originally the source utilized to create rosaries. The message that I'm getting is a line of unconditional love. A line of unconditional love. Nourishment, affection, but also community. So the inner work, what I'm getting is reserved, like you pick a day, okay? In the next 72 hours, you pick a day to do the inner work. But then also, there's going to be a time for being a bit more community oriented. To be that source of inspiration, that message that came out earlier. Some of you are going to get news about some kind of leadership role that you're being called to accept. For others of you, there's going to be guidance coming in from a trusted friend or family member in support of that newness that's also coming in. And we have upheaval, the vulture and asphodel. Taking time to grieve before rebuilding so that we don't carry that baggage of resentments and regrets with us moving on. And if you start to feel a bit overwhelmed, feel free to reach out to someone who can help you identify the sources of your issues. And for many of the collective, it is more to do with that unresolved pain. Whatever it is, we can't take it with us. But what looks like a ruin in this upheaval is actually the vulture clearing the rubble so that we can start again. Okay, we also have graceful persistence and wisdom, but both of them are in reverse in this case. The hawk and the thistle with graceful persistence in reverse, and the owl and hop with wisdom in reverse. We're going to keep them in the upright, but we're going to interpret them as the shadow. A reminder when this is in reverse that at some point in time, External pressures may have weakened our resolve, but we're being guided to remember our worth and guard it closely. Now, that would explain even more so why the guardianship card came out a little bit ago. We're being reminded that we have the resilience to thrive in a variety of environments, just like the thistle. Sometime in the next 72 hours, an external source may try to influence us. We have number 22 out again with this card. This has to do with partnerships, whether it's in business or something a bit more intimate. Someone may be trying to negatively influence your work or your relationships. We're being guided to reflect on our past successes. If we're going to reflect on the past, we might as well reflect on our successes as well. Applying what we learn through this introspection, through this revisit, this reflection. Integrating those golden nuggets of wisdom into our current journey. To recognize that this is a gradual procession here. Also, reaching such a state of fulfillment in the next few days. We'll be trying something new yet again. Even in the autumn, going into the winter, this is what I'm hearing. Even when it appears that everything is dying and falling away, there is still a growing season to be recognized here. And this growing season has more to do with that inner temple. Visionaries becoming more knowledgeable, but This time, with a hint of mystery. In the next 72 hours, there are people, places, things, and situations that are going to teach us something that we are meant to keep to ourselves. Meant to keep to ourselves. To maintain that safety that's already in our environment. For safekeeping, I just heard. There's something that we're going to learn in the next 72 hours that we're meant to keep close to our heart and keep to ourselves for safekeeping. Reserving our strength with the elk and the ash. Protecting our innocence. Continuing to go inward for inspiration as the external sources, more often than not, seemingly at this time, are aiming to be deceptive, to lead us astray from our soul's journey. But by doing that inner work and prioritizing that over all else, we don't need to necessarily go to external sources for inspiration. Success is already in the orbit. Applying our full energy to our creative endeavors, a new opportunity awaits that is going to be successful. It's already in the orbit. That energy is already here, already done. The stakes are high, but we can withstand the flames and hold our ground. By inviting and incorporating more inspiration, forging a more unique path towards our desires. Taking charge of our destiny. And by carving our own path, this is where we find success. More reasons to celebrate. And living in our truth. Living in our truth is what makes the journey ultimately that much more rewarding. The lesser known paths. The lesser known paths. Something that we wouldn't typically lean into is definitely significant. something that we wouldn't typically lean into. Hope. Is already in the immediate environment. Hardship of some kind is about to come to a close. This card that's already in our immediate environment is indication better days are ahead. Something about that humbling stage of being broke down and rebuilt again. More diverse, going from the caterpillar to the butterfly. Brighter days. Wow, and I just had a pressure change in my left ear where the pressure and the sound changed at the same time. Springing forth in terms of health, wealth, and wisdom. We know that it isn't all unicorns and rainbows inside of that cocoon, that inner temple. Something is going to occur in the next 3 days that is going to feel like magic. The otter and the cattail with peace. Right behind that is patience. Right behind that is intuitions. Already in our immediate orbit. All of this being tools in our magic tool bag that are going to sustain us for the next 3 days. Patience, our intuitions, prioritizing peace, choosing peace, prioritizing a peace of mind. Definitely prioritizing a peace of mind. A reminder that the discomforts that we have been dealing with are temporary. Continue going with the flow. Indication of already being in the flow came out earlier in the Oracle of Visions. Allowing the current to just carry us forward. Harmoniously. Honing in on that creativity that's already in the orbit. Maintaining that patience. Look, patience has been coming out for the collective so much lately. I already know. No need to remind anybody about the value of a long strand, a long branch of patience with that bobcat and blackthorn. More of that's going to be needed and necessary as that new journey ahead is going to require it. Reserve, preserve, and ration our energy carefully for the next few days. There's also a message about a second harvest of some kind. A second harvest. Stewardship. Community support. What you put out comes back. It circles the block. It's like what I was saying in the very beginning of this session about how kindness always returns. Keep putting it out there. Encompassing that theme of abundance and community support. But also remembering our own provisions. Source provides the provisions, but we don't hand over the entire pie of those provisions. or we don't hand over all of the provisions of the entire pie. Physical and spiritual preparation, and a combination of community engagement as well as private connection with source. If you pray, then private prayer, emphasis on praying privately. The second harvest symbolizes spiritual abundance and growth. As we have been encouraged in the next 3 days to reflect on our faith, the lessons derived from our struggles and our successes, a balance of shadow work and light work, resulting in that spiritual abundance and the ability to be more generous. More than anything, this is about growth instead of rewards, but that growth in and of itself is a reward. The reward. The inner peace, the joy, the love, the wisdom, and the purpose that already came out. Living and cultivating a giving spirit as one of the many practical steps towards prosperity. Something about due diligence when it comes to our intuitions as well. We reap in kindness as we sow in kindness. But we reap in a different season than we sow. I'm not really caring too much for the religious terminology that's coming in for me at this time. It's not selfish at all to say, hey, we are reaching a point in our journey, and there will be many more. As there is a season for this and a season for that, a season for sowing and a season for harvest, Let's not forget the tending in between. When we grow spiritually, we become even more connected. By becoming even more connected to our higher power and others, we also experience greater joy, peace, and love by putting it out there, by contributing that joy, that peace, that love, that healing, that forgiveness, putting that out there, which we're not required to do any of this, by the way. But it certainly helps prepare our hearts for a harvest miracle that only encourages growth inside and out for everyone involved, internally and externally, as within, so without. Open your eyes. Look at the Summerland fields. Something about the southern hemisphere and the Summerland fields. Source, Holy Spirit, messenger of Source, is saying that there's some work that we can't put off. Like there's some work that we continuously do regardless of the season that we are in. And there will be susceptibility to pests regardless of the season we are in, as it all comes in increments. For the harvest. Distractions. Destructiveness. And as we continue to do that work within instead of forcing it upon others, we become more ready, open, and responsive, hungry for the truth that flows in more and more effortlessly now by way of our intuitions. I just heard a truth that is shared is a love that is spared. A truth that is shared is a love that is spared. Sometime in the next 72 hours, something is going to come to you intuitively as you do that inner work that is meant to be voiced, and it's going to save a connection of some kind. Whether it has to do with friendship, romance, or your vocation. Reaching out and discipling. I just heard discipling Deciphering and discipling, Holy Spirit just said. Deciphering and discipling. But also sowing sparingly in those golden nuggets. Some of them are meant to be kept a mystery, kept to ourselves, sub rosa, under the rose, in secrecy, between us and Source and Holy Spirit. It's important in the next few days to understand the season that we are in, and it's going to be different to some degree for all of us. In what season do you find yourself, beloveds? In what season do you find yourself? When have your thoughts and actions been out of sync? But also, when have your instincts been reliable? When may you have been putting your trust in the wrong person or thing? And when have you also been trusting your intuitions to guide you? If something feels off, it usually is. Trusting in our intuitions, we pause and we listen. And respect our inner knowing. And just like the hellebore, the hellebore can bloom even in the winter. Representative in this particular message, beloveds, that our visions and our dreams can even bloom in the night and even in the perceived dead of winter. A second bloom is about to occur in some kind of way for the collective. What does that mean for us? Well, it's going to mean something a little bit different for everyone, as I just stated. There's something unexpected to you that wants to bloom within you. But there's also some things that we have to properly allow to end. Those new beginnings will always come. Just when we think the season's over, we are blessed with a second bloom. We have a creation. We have a creation that is ready and waiting to be brought forth in the next few days. And for many of us, it's like a new version of you, a new passion in life. And for some, a new relationship. And this is what it truly means to live. Being open to saying yes to that creative artistic expression, those deeper connections, the inner work. That shadow work is just as important as the light work, beloveds. Until our last breath. Being open to saying yes. And we will do so while still fully living. Transformation being carried on the wings of that dragonfly. The spiritual significance of that dragonfly. Adaptability, self-realization, change, transformation. This metamorphosis mirrors our own journeys of growth and personal development, reminding us that these changes leading to new beginnings and opportunities for self-discovery are like the lily and the lotus that represent a rebirth. On a more mundane level, it's really about adaptability and the ability to adjust to new situations, being more flexible to some degree. But don't forget about that discernment about those trying to come in destructively, trying to knock us off our square. But no matter what comes our way, we're also being reminded to live in the moment, just as she is, in the moment, just being in the moment, losing all concept of time around her. Literally, that time is around her. She's losing all concept of it. Finding joy in the simple things. And appreciation for all of life's beauty. With courage, strength, happiness, agility. Dragonflies are associated with the samurai warriors, beloveds, in Japanese symbolism. Fearlessness. Not only losing concepts of all time, but of all types of fear. Let's take a look at the significance of the water lily. There's a message meant for us pertaining to the water lily. More of a reminder of that resilience, purity, and personal transformation messages that started coming out in the beginning. The purity and the innocence that has been restored. Also, something significant about our personal awakening and our continuous pursuit towards knowledge and spiritual growth. Being more dedicated to that than anything else in the next few days. Emerging from those murky waters. No mud, no lotus. Showing that we can rise above challenges while also maintaining our integrity. Embracing our path. Focusing on our inner peace. The ability to flourish through thick and thin, despite the adversity, and more of a reminder that we can overcome obstacles and thrive. It's also about having gratitude and appreciation inspired by the beauty and the harmony of the water lily. A more balanced spiritual perspective coming in the next 3 days. Specifically the lotus. Illustrates the journey of our soul rising through and above adversity. Hello, dead card. I am so sorry. I am just now seeing you. Yo, 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 and happy Friday to you, bro. Thank you so much for being here. It's always lovely, always a joy to see you. Evoking serenity. I need serenity in a place where I can't hide. Purity, rebirth, transformation, and growth on different levels and different timelines for all of us, and that's okay. Because with it comes renewal and reminder of even more of our potential despite the challenging circumstances. Beautiful. Wow. Overall, the message is of resilience. Even through dark times, even when we're feeling the most exposed, we are fragments of the whole, witnessing itself in all its resilience and beauty. One mission at a time, becoming a masterpiece. Over and over again. This time is onward and upward. No more loops. From bud to blossom, through the struggles and the transformations. deepening our connections, fostering peace, being guided toward a more serene and fulfilling existence, where we can just lose all concept of time. That is the message. I'm feeling guided to leave it alone from there. Some powerful stuff coming in the next 72 hours. Yo, yo, yo. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Multiversal Soul. Amelia. With much gratitude and appreciation. From my heart chakra to yours. Brightest of blessings and agape omni love to all.